ज्योत्स्नां ब्रह्मविचारसार परमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनी वीणा पुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदा जाड्यान्धकारापहा हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधती पद्मासने संस्थिता वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवती बुद्धिप्रदां शारदा।
जय श्री कृष्ण, जय महेश सभी को. Welcome everyone on this pleasant Sunday morning. Thank you so much for joining in. We bring to you yet another exciting session, exciting webinar in our webinar series. आज का webinar काफी interesting, काफी special होने वाला है because आज हम थोड़ा हटके कुछ डिस्कस करेंगे बिकॉज पिछले काफी वेबिनार्स में हमने बात की बिजनेस की, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की, बात की मोटिवेशन, इंस्पिरेशन की. आज हम एक्चुअली एक ऐसे टॉपिक पे बहुत डीप जाएंगे जहां पर वी हैव अ वेरी स्पेशल गेस्ट, अ वेरी स्पेशल स्पीकर हु इज आल्सो पार्ट ऑफ द एमवीपीएम स्कॉलर कमिटी, Dr. Neha Rathi, who is an absolute authority in this space. The space that we're talking about is home science. And for a lot of us who are uninitiated, जिनको ज़्यादा idea नहीं है about this is going to be very enlightening, very informative, very knowledgeable. So I'm looking forward to it. So before we get into, the webinar details, I want to talk a little bit about MVPM for our guests who are, attending for the first time. MVPM एक 1929 में जो रेडी हुई थी एक संस्था है which has been doing terrific, absolutely fabulous work in the space of education and even beyond now, right from running hostels for some of the youth today in the country across multiple cities, holding scholarship programs, really enabling and giving the right access and privilege to the underprivileged in this society. So the spectrum of work at NVPM is impressive and terrific. साथ में मैं अपना भी एक quick introduction दे देता हूँ. मेरा नाम प्रतीक मानवधन्या है. मैं भी एक MVPM का scholar awardee रह चुका हूँ 2018 में. And I am an MBA from IIM Bangalore, and currently I work as a consultant with a company called Bain. With that, let me quickly go into the agenda for today. आपने जिन्होंने पहले से हमारा webinar series थोड़ा follow किया होगा, you would have realized that there are 2-3 types of webinars. एक जहाँ पर हम business और entrepreneurship की बात करते हैं, और एक हमने नया webinar series शुरू किया है, which is to talk about fields of education which are not as common today. And we believe as an organization, as a society, we need to understand them in a lot more detail, in a lot more depth, so that we are building a more multifaceted a more multi-dimensional ecosystem, both within the community and at a broader country level, right? And today we have a very special speaker, Dr. Neha Rathi. Well, of course, she needs no introduction for those who have been following our webinars, but she is an absolute authority in the field of home sciences that we're going to be talking about today. She's done her PhD in behavioral nutrition from Deakin University in Australia. She's done her master's in science, specifically on food science and nutrition from SNDT Women's University in Mumbai. And she'll talk in detail about her education journey and how she chose the path of home science. And the way we'll run this is, आप सभी लोगों से request है कि don't hesitate to post your questions in the chat box. तो आप पूरा during the course of the discussion आप please अपने questions post करते रहिए, and towards the end we'll have a 15-minute Q&A session. Dr. Neha Rathi has actually prepared a very insightful presentation which she'll walk us through over the next 25 minutes or so, and then we'll pause for question and answers, and everyone will get an opportunity to talk to Dr. Neha Rathi about their doubts that they would have. And again, as always, this webinar is useful, applicable, and tailored for both parents, students, and teachers. Actually, students will have a lot to take away because unka ek horizon expand hoga in terms of the options they have. Parents will actually learn something new about home science and potentially pass that on to their kids. And teachers, of course, and academicians in the field of home science, of course, will also have a good refresher of sorts. With that, I'll hand it over to you, Dr. Neha Rathi, to take this forward.
Yes.
आपके लैपटॉप से डायरेक्ट टीवी में पास कर दो ना।
आवाज नहीं आता है, आवाज कम करो तुम्हें।
रियलिटी है, अच्छा इम्प्रूव हो गया धीरे-धीरे लैब।
Pratik, can you see the slides?
Yeah, Dr. Neha.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, Pratik, for that generous introduction. And thank you, NVPM, for inviting me today and, allowing me to speak about my career in home science and, how I did choose this field. And yes, and I would love to share my experience with all of you on board. And of course, later, once it's going to be published on YouTube, other people can also have access to our information. Okay, so the title of today's presentation is Debunking the Age-Old Myth, Home Science Does Not Lead to a Career. सभी को लगता होगा, मुझे लगता है, मुझे नहीं उतना पता था कि करियर बनेगा नहीं बनेगा, but I was very passionate about home science, इसीलिए मैंने पढ़ाई की, and of course, later on, I did realize it can become a career, and of course, I'll share my career pathway with you. Okay, so I did my class 10 like from ICSC, and I had a 6th subject called home science. So जो बच्चे home ICSC में हैं, अभी भी option उनके पास है. So at class 9, आप subjects choose कर सकते हैं. For example, आपके पास या तो रहता है accountancy, computer science, I think environmental education होता है, एक home science भी रहता है. So you can choose that subject and you can pass out at 10 with that subject. And later on, then what I did, I moved my board. Like I went to CBSE, and there I studied home science as one of my 5 subjects. And then based on my class 12 grades, I got an admission at Jadavpur University in Kolkata. And I did a BSc in home science with an honors in food and nutrition. And then based on BSc marks, I had to give, I of course qualified for the MSc, but there at SNDT Women's University, Mumbai, I had to give a written exam. And of course I got, gave an interview and I got selected, and I, did my master's in home science with a specialization in food science and nutrition. I did work for 5 years after that. I will share that journey too. And then I give the IELTS English exam, and I wrote a research grant for Australia, for an Australian university, that is Deakin, and I received the Victoria Underdoctoral Scholarship, and I went on to do a PhD in behavioral nutrition from there. So that's about my educational background. Now I move on to my employment journey, so how it started. So once I did my MSc, I got a campus placement in a company called Unique Colloids Impex Private Limited. So this company actually deals with food ingredients. So I was kind of, marketing different food ingredients for companies like Unilever and that stuff. Then I had a very short stint there, around just 5 months, and then I, shifted gears and I moved to VLCC. I'm sure you must be aware of that. VLCC, generally people go there for weight loss because they have that weight loss program stuff. So I was there as a nutrition counselor. I was responsible for preparing and auditing diet charts given to the clients. Then I actually, again, moved to a very different domain. I moved to academics. So I taught for 3 years as a home economics educator in an ICSE school in Calcutta. And I also taught middle school children science and mathematics. I really enjoy teaching, but my personality is like that. I want to change things. So while teaching, I gave the government exam for the National Rural Health Mission, which is now known as the National Health Mission. So I got a ranking in a state rank, and then I was posted in the Darjeeling district in West Bengal. And I was the nutritionist for the Block Primary Health Center, that's the BPHC. And I was responsible for the treatment of SAM children. Now, what do I mean by SAM children? It is severely acute malnourished children. So I used to take care of them. And during that time, maybe I wanted to explore now the world, because I had seen, rural India as well as urban India. And I did, enjoy both working in the public and private sector by then. And so I wanted to know something more and explore the world. So I gave my English exam, and luckily I got the doctoral scholarship, and I went to Australia to do my PhD in behavioral nutrition. And during that time at Deakin, so it was just for 6 or 7 months, I did some teaching. I did teach undergraduate students there in nutrition sciences. And upon completion of my PhD, I got employed at IIT Bombay. I'm currently at IIT Bombay as a postdoctoral fellow. So I'm a scientist here at IIT Bombay, and I'm currently working on 2 research areas. One is physical activity behavior in urban Indians, and I also work on culinary behaviors. And I'm looking at impact of COVID on culinary behaviors. When I say culinary behaviors, I mean cooking behaviors. Okay, now, so moving on to the topic, like today's agenda, home science. मुझे लगता है सबको यही लगता होगा home science क्या है? खाना बनाना है, सिलाई बुनाई करना है, यही general perception है इस subject की. थोड़ी बहुत हो सकता है सही है इस बात में, but it's not all. It's much beyond that. So let's explore what is that much beyond. Home science is defined as the application of a scientific knowledge in a system towards improving the quality of home and family life. This combination of art and science holds true in every sphere of your life. For example, the house that you live in, the food that you eat, the clothes that you wear, the resources that you use, the family that you can care for, and the skills required to lead any successful career, So I don't think there is any subject in the globe which covers so many domains in one, I would say just in one subject. I don't think so. Okay, now let's see. Why is home science so important? Like, why really we have to study this subject? There must be some relevance. So yes, home science gives knowledge for facing new challenges, to cope with knowledge explosion, technological advancements, new developments, and growing needs of individuals for successful living in a family. So this is the only subject, I would say, which deals with food, clothing, shelter, health, human relationships, household resources, that exists within a home as well as in a family. Okay, so that's the significance. So it covers in so many domains, and it covers the human being himself or herself. So I would say it's family, and of course the society. Now we have the 5 areas of home science. So if you study home science, you will be exposed to 5 different areas. Later on, in your BSc level and master's level, and of course, if you do a PhD, you can specialize in one particular domain, or you can also specialize in the total of, I would say, home science. Yes, so the first domain is, I say, food and nutrition. Sorry, I'll just sorry for that. Yeah, food and nutrition, family resource management, human development and family studies, textiles and textiles and apparel design, and then we have extension communication. So now moving on, what do we study in food and nutrition? So that's my specialization. So first we study is about food. Now, what is about food we study? So if you're eating rice, if you're eating roti, so we study about that. So that's food. Now, what is nutrients? So you talk about your proteins. So like if you go to a gym, so your gym instructor, the diet person, they may say, you have to have, today this much of calories. So that's the type, or maybe this much of proteins. He may be recommending your protein milkshake. So that's about nutrients. Now we talk about meal planning. Now, what meal planning? So there are different meal plans, like for different individuals, like maybe for a lactating mother, like who's breastfeeding a child, her meal plan will be very different from maybe a pregnant mother. Her meal plan is going to be different because her calorie requirements, protein requirements are different. Now moving ahead, it's the health and care of the sick. Now, like sick, when I say, you can cover diabetic, you can cover a liver patient, a cancer patient. It could be a simple fever. So we generally know once you have a fever, your energy requirements or protein requirements increases. So during convalescence, we recommend high protein food, like so you can have a custard. So that's about health and care of the sick. Now, what do we talk in food purchasing? So when we go to a supermarket and we buy something, so we are told how to study the food label. So it talks about, what is saturated fat content and different things about that. So you understand about food labeling. Now coming to food preparation. Here, we talk about different preparation processes like, germination, fermentation, why it's critical. There is an increase in vitamin C. So all that stuff. Then moving on to food storage. So like where to store what, how fish or chicken can be stored, how eggs are stored, how can we store our fruits and vegetables in the refrigerator, or even grains, how do we store our dry grains? Now, moving on to adulteration. So you must be thinking, like I don't know if you've heard about it, like turmeric is generally adulterated with metal yellow. So how can you test that? Because it's harmful. And there is this chana dal, it gets adulterated with keshri dal. So these things are also discussed. So like, okay, your food is adulterated or not, kind of that. Now, food preservation, it talks about how you can, make pickles, jams, jellies. So like, these are all scientific processes. For example, when we are making a jelly from guava, what ingredient is important? It's the pectin in the guava, which helps to make a jelly. And of course, lastly, it's food policies. If you have heard about the FSSAI, the Food Safety Standards Organization of India, the Association of India, they draft policies. So now there is a canteen policy, which came out I think in 2018 or 2019. And it says that 5 kilometers radius of the school, there should be no promotion of junk food. So that's a food policy. And there are many other things under this food and nutrition. I didn't cover my topic itself. So like I specialize in food behaviors and cooking behaviors. So yes, that also can be studied under this domain. Now moving on to something, another very exciting thing, and if anybody who is an MBA here may, like Prateek may also, like our moderator, he's an MBA, he may also find something, relevant to his course. So it is a bit of overlap with MBA, but okay, let's see what we do here. So we study about income management, we study about savings and investments like mutual funds, fixed deposits. Of course, we talk about work and space organization, time and energy management, consumer education. So again, if you've heard about that Grahak Jago, that consumer thing in India. So again, if you specialize here, you can get a job in the consumer court. So that's again good. Work ethics, conservation of energy, environment management, agronomic evaluation, use and care, as well as maintenance of household appliances, whether refrigerator, air conditioner, television, washing machine, everything. So if you know it, you may not need a technician unless it's a very major fault in your appliance. And of course, something very interesting, application of design fundamentals to achieve aesthetic harmony. So this study actually covers interior designing. So you can do a BSc Family Resource Management and MSc Family Resource Management. You can be an interior designer, but of course you specialize in this field then. Now, moving on to, like human development and family studies. So we talk about theories of human development and behavior. So there's a very, very famous classic theory by Sigmund Freud, the psychoanalytic theory. Also, the MBA graduates must be knowing the Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So we study these theories. Then gender issues in family relations, like what's the status of female in terms of, nutrition, health, violence when compared to males, guidance and counseling. It could be vocational counseling, it could be marriage counseling, anything. Early childhood care and education, different motor skill development in early childhood, social development, language development. Of course, Montessori, that comes into this section. Gerontology, that's the geriatric population. It's about, I would say, the aged care, so elderly population. Adolescent development and challenges. There are many challenges with adolescent, identity crisis, juvenile delinquency could be there. Then there could be drug abuse in adolescence, or how you deal with them. And, most of the teenagers, they are very confused with careers. They are not sure which career to choose. So here we study about that, how we can overcome these challenges. Children with developmental challenges, example, autistic children, children with sensory deficits or, mental issues, concerns of that. Adulthood dynamics. So here we study different stages of adulthood, like parenthood, that's one, or, when children grow up and they leave their parents, for higher education or for their, careers. So that's the time, you have the empty nest syndrome. So that's phase also we study in adulthood. Intervention development for vulnerable families who are hit by, drugs or something, or maybe low socioeconomic status. What are their challenges? We talk about women's studies. And of course, cross-cultural perspectives in family studies. Example, like, if you recently that triple talaq thing in the Islamic community. So that's very different, whereas a divorce in a Hindu community is very different. So we talk about different perspectives in family studies. Yes, another very exciting part about home sciences, textiles and apparel design. So we talk about fiber chemistry. Now, what is fiber chemistry? So we talk about, cotton as a cellulosic fiber. We talk about protein and wool and silk as being a protein fiber. And of course, polyester, nylon as synthetic fibers. So we look at the effect of heat, light on, these different fibers. So this is how, the different finishes and treatments are, designed for a particular fiber. Then we look at textile design, like different types of weaves, looms. If you have heard about plain weave or the twill weave. Twill weave is used in our denims. So you have the diagonal weave. If you can see your denims, you can see that, thing. Fashion draping and custom clothing. So, using a sketch, how you, design or customize your clothing. Dyeing and printing, that's very exciting. And actually, I enjoyed it very much. So just giving you an example for dyeing, we have resistant dyeing, like in ikkats. So there are different ikkats, saris we have heard about. Sambalpuri ikkat from Odisha, Pochimpally ikkat from Andhra Pradesh, Patola ikkat from Gujarat. So yeah, again, you have batik here. So yeah, there are many. And of course, printing, you must be knowing the block printing. And there are many other types of printing. I'm just giving you some names. And I really enjoyed this because even when I specialized in food and nutrition at, in my BSc level, I still did that. So I made a dupatta, I made a cushion cover with tie and dye. And yeah, it was nice. And of course, banh mi is also a type of tie and dye, so, which we are all aware of. Now we look at textile ecology. So, textile industry, they, give away their waste into the rivers. So what's the impact on the air, water and soil, kind of pollution? So we study that and how can we reduce that and mitigate the challenges associated with the pollution. We look at different textile finishes. Now, what are finishes? Like it's known as an anti-static finish, or waterproof is a textile finish, or let's say anti-pilling finish. Now, what is an anti-pilling finish? Just to make you aware. So if you go to any mall or any buy, or let's say a Monte Carlo cardigan, and you just see the label. So they will say it's resistant to pilling or it has an anti-pilling finish. So what happens in a cardigan when you use it multiple times? small balls form on the cardigan. I don't know if you have ever noticed it. If it's not of good quality and, if shorter wool yarns are used. So if a anti-pilling finish is given to that particular cardigan, you won't have that pilling effect. So our home scientists can actually gauge that. You can just see the label and you understand what finishes are given. Textile industry and clothing. So we talk about here about the different, I would say the government policies related to the textile industry. Textile conservation. This is very interesting. I don't know how much we do it in India, but I've seen it in abroad. So what happens here is, our textiles, we put it in the museum, and we also study the impact of here microorganisms and, our old textiles, how we preserve it. So it's about that. Of course, knitting technology. And very exciting and part of, again, this is fashion accessories. Here we talk about belts, hats, and you can see here, like, your footwear. So it's all very exciting parts. So here you can also work into this area, like study in this area. Now, talking about this extension, communication and management. So we talk about the extension systems. So example of an extension system is Panchayati Raj, or the the Integrated Rural Development Program, or the IRDP. Then we have human resource development. We talk about the HRD policies of the government. Then we have communications for development, like soft skills, public speaking, you're trained here in all that stuff. Media production and management, we discuss about multimedia and all that stuff, how you develop a program. Then we have the participatory program management. Gender sensitization for empowerment, then scientific writing and reporting for media. So how you write for different, journals, or if it's whether for newspapers, whether for magazines, or maybe if you're organizing a conference, then how do you write that? It's all about that. Then we talk about educational technology. We have ICT, that is the information and communication technology. We have sustainable livelihood systems like agriculture, horticulture, animal husbandry, sericulture, so that's a big thing. And of course, we have extension management. So here, I just completed generally what we study and what, home science has to offer to us. So if you're interested in any of these topics I just covered or anything, then I think you should think of, picking up home science as a career. If you're interested in any of the aspects I just described now. Now, of course, if you're interested in studying, then you should know where should I study. That is important. So I have tried to cover in this slide most, I will not say most, like majority of the universities from different Indian states. So like if you're from like North, you will have an option. Like for South also have given some options, and similarly for East and West. So let's start from our capital. That's Delhi University. So there we have two colleges. Lady Irwin College and Institute of Home Economics. Now coming to the West, in Mumbai, so we have the Mumbai University, College of Home Science, Nirmala Niketan, and we have SNDD Women's University. So this university is in two places, like in Mumbai as well as in Pune. And so the university has its own department where I was a pass out from, and it also has affiliated colleges like the SVT College of Home Science and BMN College of Home Science. They are both in Mumbai. And I think the Pune campus is it has its own department in the university itself. Then another college in the West, university in the West, that's the Maharaja Sayaji Rao University of Baroda. It's like one of the largest and oldest universities in Asia offering home science to girls. Very famous, I'm sure it's very popular with the girls. Banasthali Vidyapeeth in Rajasthan. We have Punjab Agriculture University. Then we have the GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology. It's in Uttarakhand. I'm not so sure with this one, whether it offers textiles or not, but of course it offers a degree in nutrition sciences. Then let's move down to South. We have at University of Madras Women's Christian College. I think there's another one, the Stella Maris. Pondicherry University, Bharati Dasan Government College for Women. Today we have a professor from there. Then we have Avinashalingam Institute for Home Science and Higher Education for Women in Coimbatore. I think in Hyderabad also we have the Osmania University. In Bangalore, I believe there's Mount Carmel College, so you can even explore that. And if you're specializing in nutrition, that's only for after masters, then you can have a very good option. That's a government institute. That's the National Institute of Nutrition. It's under the ICMR, the Indian Council of Medical Research, situated in Hyderabad. And then we have, let's move to my side of Eastern India. It's Jadavpur University. So the affiliated institute is J.D. Birla Institute of Home Science. And of course, we have University of Calcutta. We have the Department of Home Science. So I think I've covered almost all the regions. Yeah, I think in Shillong also we have, I'm not remembering the college, I think it's a women's college. They also offer home science, yeah. Now let's go to the international context. So you think, okay, I want to make a career in home economics. If I move, I want to go abroad and do that. Now just making sure before you search. So home science has different names in different countries or continents. So if you go to United States of America, it's known as family and consumer sciences. So don't search for home economics, you may not find a course. So you have to search for family and consumer sciences. But if you go to Australia, UK, you have to type in home economics. And I think Europe also, yes, Germany, all it's home economics. And if you go to Canada, you have to type in human ecology. And of course, if you are in India, you type home science, you'll get through that. Okay, so there are some universities I just want to share. This is just, just a limited number. There are many, and, I can share the details later on. So we have the Texas State University, Texas Women's University, University of Massachusetts, North Dakota State University. In UK, we have Queen Margaret, Aberdeen. Then in Australia, we have Edith Cowan. In Canada, you have British Columbia and also University of Manitoba. So that's the international aspect. Now, okay, so you have studied, you have done your master's or maybe a bachelor's, but yeah, let me tell you, just a bachelor's degree won't be sufficient. You have to top it up with a master's, or you do another course, or maybe you do an MBA, but you have to have a master's to get a respectable job in any field, I think. Except for engineering, maybe just a BTech does, I think, but in other fields, I think you need a master's to top it up.
Okay. Sorry, Dr. Neha, thanks so much for all the information. Just wanted to, once kind of pitch in here and say there's a lot of interest I see in the chat box as well around, employability trends and what do kind of, career pathways look like. So
yeah.
Essentially, spend some more time here talking about, what are the opportunities for a fresher like, and, what kind of a master's do you need to get into what kind of a space?
Yeah, sure. I'll try to see if I can't, maybe I'll answer in the Q&A, okay? Yeah, I'll try to focus here. Yeah, thank you, Pradeep. So emerging career pathways from food and nutrition. So yes, so if you are specializing in community nutrition or public health nutrition, you can land up a job in National Health Mission, which I did one. I got a job at NRHM. You can find yourself working at Niti Aayog, UNICEF, Tata Trust. So you can just log into a Tata Trust website after this webinar, and you can see there's a big sector, big segment, I would say, for food and nutrition. And you can even study in India at Tata Cornell Institute. So they offer PhDs in nutrition sciences too. So it's with Tata and Cornell. Then we have food policy. So we have the International Food Policy Research Institute. The headquarters are in Washington, DC, but we have a office in Delhi too. And FAO, of course. Then we have the Food Regulation and Quality Assurance. I talked about FSSAI, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. I just talked about, they are the policy developers. So even, they take out, I would say, policies, for the regulations for the restaurants and all. Food laboratories, NCL is in Pune, so people from Pune must be aware of it. Center for Science Environment, if you've heard about Sunita Narayan, she came up with that Pepsi issue and all. So she heads this place and you can work there. Food and beverage industries, Britannia, Cadbury, Heinz. But yes, I will just put a word of caution here. If you really want to see yourself in a good position in food and beverage industries, I would recommend a PhD in food science, or a BTech in food technology would be preferable. And same, similarly for Amul and, Amul, because, they would prefer a dairy technology, a BTech. There, I would say, a BSc nutrition or an MSc nutrition would not be so useful. I'm not saying you won't get a job. You may get a job, but I'm not sure, like, upon the promotion and all, because I think they would give a preference for technologist. Yeah, but still we can check it out. Yeah. And this is a very popular field, and most of the people and majority of my friends who did specialize in nutrition sciences are actually dietitians and clinical nutritionists. So you can work in hospitals, health and wellness clubs. Something which is very exciting and upcoming, that is about sport nutrition. This is something very new, and I'm telling you, this has really tremendous scope in the next 10 years. Why? Just think about IPL. Every club has a sport nutritionist. And that is the reason NIN at Hyderabad has introduced a very new course. I think it's just been 1 year or 2 years. They've come up with the MSc in sports nutrition. And of course, you can do a PhD abroad, like their top institutes. You can do it from Deakin, Loughborough in UK, or University of Copenhagen. Then we have, of course, teaching and research. I am into research. So you can do that at CFTRI Mysore, NIN Hyderabad. IIT Bombay has recently started called the Chino group. That's the child nutrition group. And of course, IIT Delhi is doing some work on food policies. And of course, self-employment. घर बैठे ही आप कुछ ना कुछ कर सकते हैं, आप अपना ही restaurant शुरू कर सकते हैं, and there are many examples I can share with you. Homemade chocolates and cakes, like everybody loves to, everybody craves for, and like that could be a good business and a good deal. And you don't have to go out of the home; you're doing everything at home. So I think that's a good deal to crack. Now moving on to emerging career pathways from textiles and apparel. So you can be a textile chemist. Then you can be a textile engineer. Again, a word of caution. So I think for textile engineering, I would prefer, or I would recommend to do a BTech or maybe a PhD. And for BTech, I can tell you, IIT Delhi has a very, well-established department of textiles and textiles engineering. And where do these people get job? Textile chemists and textile engineers. So you have the, one of the biggest, Aditya Birla Group has their Rayon and, industries. If you have read their labels of Color Plus, Van Heusen, so you can get a job any of these places. You can be a dyer, you can be a merchandiser, fashion advertising, fashion magazines, very popular. Dry cleaners, you can be a fabric designer, a fashion designer, you can be a fashion photographer, and of course, and then if you want to be an entrepreneur, then yes, a boutique owner can be a good choice for you. Moving on, yes, we are moving on to the family resource management. You can work in LIC, ICICI Lombard, in the health insurance sector. You can be a HR manager. You can work into housekeeping and food and beverage manager in big, I would say the 5-star hotels, starting from Taj, the ITC Group. Okay. Then you can be a financial consultant. You can work with a chartered accountant, in his consultancy. That's going to be a good deal. And of course, you can be an interior designer and decorate your as well as others' homes. Moving on to human development and family studies. Of course, you can be a school counselor. So now it's a mandate as per the Government of India law and under the Human Resource, the HRD ministry, that every school needs to have a counselor. So of course you will get a job there. You can be a special educator. You can be a marriage and family therapist. When couples face problems during their marriages, they generally consult a marriage and a family therapist. Career counselor, early childhood educator. You can work in a Montessori. Okay, adoption and child welfare professionals. So many couples who don't want to have their own kids and they would like to adopt a child, so they generally go and consult an adoption and child welfare professional. Occupational therapists, they generally work at your workplace and give you therapy advice if you have work stress and all that. You can be a social worker associated with an NGO. Of course, HR manager. And the last one, the child development project officer. This is a Government of India posting. So you are posted at a block level. So yeah, it's again a very lucrative job. And yes, and you generally get this job by sitting for a government exam. Okay, now moving on to extension and community management. Of course, you can be an overseas education counselor. And one more thing, you must be wondering, there are overlaps between 2 or 3 home science domains, and that's quite normal. And even if you do an MBA, let's say after a BSc, there also you will find quite a few overlaps. Now, you can be an education fundraiser. For example, you can work for Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, or we can work for MVPM, and we can get funds. So, you can, somehow get into this kind of a sector. Corporate communication executive. media and advertising, public relations, and curriculum designer. So you must be wondering, where do these curriculum designers work? So you can work at the NCERT level, that's the Government of India level. So you design different curriculums. So again, you have to sit for a government exam and qualify for that post. Yes, now I've almost finished my presentation. I will be leaving, just some perhaps last few 3 slides just for you to look at it and for you to ponder, like, why really we need home science education. And of course, my slides would have very clearly said that there are definitely home science can lead to a career, that there are so many career options you can, pursue if you study home science. So of course, I have debunked that myth. And of course, I've debunked another myth that ये सिर्फ खाना बनाना और सिलाई बुनाई नहीं है, उससे बहुत कुछ ज़्यादा है. Of course, but I always say if you're passionate about it, then only study it. And it's for any other subject. Until unless you're passionate, don't do that thing. You won't enjoy it in the long run. That's my advice. So, okay, this is, I got this screenshot from Journal of American Medical Association. It's one of the top medical journals. And these are the 2 doctors, MDs, and they are saying, bring back home economics education. And this commentary also had the Michelle Obama speaking about that, why home economics is necessary. And she said both boys and girls should learn this subject. So it was a very interesting commentary, so you can have a look at it later on. Again, I don't know if you can see this. So this is why home economics is necessary. What life skill is more important than knowing how to feed your family and yourself? I think this is a very important statement. And this is something very, I don't know, I thought it was very funny, but again, with a very powerful, strong message for the community at large. How different boys, and one is knitting and one is doing a cross stitch, I believe. I don't know whether our girls still know that. Forget about our boys about it. So yes, we need to ponder. And yes, if you have any questions, and if I'm unable to answer it today and who could not attend, of course, I can be reached over Twitter, my email address, and of course, over the phone. Yes, and thank you very much. But yes, before I close, I would like to say something. I want to thank 2 people today. One is Prateek, our moderator, for making my slides look really beautiful, because I would not have done such a good job. So thank you, Prateek, and your team for doing that for me. And a second thank you to Professor V. Raji Sugumar. She's from Pondicherry University. She helped me with some inputs in making my slides. Thank you to both of you. It was a pleasure being here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Neha Rathi. That was eye-opening, I think, at the very least, right? And just gives us such a good insight into how broad and how fundamental this field is. And I think the couple of slides you showed towards the end around what could be more, critical than kind of knowing how to.
Yeah, I know.
Paraphrasing, but that was spectacular. Thank you so much. There are a couple of interesting questions that have come up in the chat box, right? And I'll take some of them.
Sure.
You could give us your thoughts on that.
Sure.
There's a question around, are there any must-have skills for a home science student to be successful? And I know you spoke a little bit about, you just have to have that passion to study something like this and then go after it. But anything from your experience that you thought would really differentiate a successful student from a model?
Yeah, I know. See, I don't know with food and nutrition. I think like for the practical section, like the practical sessions, I think, Prateek, like you should have taste in your hands if you can make good food and all. So, and I think once so I always say, even if you cook well, it's the love which you show in your cooking. Yeah, I think if we take up textiles, for example, there I think you need the skill, because you need to be good in your embroidery and all. At least your stitching and all sets. I think you need the good skills, but I was good at that too also, so that's it. Yeah, if you go to interior designing, I think there you need good, even for fashion designing, I think your sketching skills, I think, will be an advantage. But as such, I don't think you need something beforehand to jump into it. No, I don't think. Main thing, it's the passion and knack for it, because this is a very, I would say it's a very demanding course. Like you have to be in college, like for commerce, I don't know, you have been, so maybe a 4 hours is okay, but we used to have a college from 9 in the morning to 4 in the evening, and you have to be in the college because you have practical exams, like practical sessions. So it's not a theory based tutoring or like, you know, घर पे पढ़ लिया तो चल जाएगा, नहीं होगा, नहीं चलेगा, आपको college जाना पड़ेगा.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing I think is what I realized over the course of the presentation is कि इतने सारे options है for you to really go deep on, right? Because at the very
Yes.
fundamental level, it's pretty much like end-to-end living. And then after, on top of that, then you have, yeah, exactly. Someone put it, the job opportunities are also so vast. And then the fields also branch out into so many
Yes, yes. हाँ, और एक्चुअली मुझे लगता है यही मोस्टली होम साइंटिस्ट, लाइक जो होम साइंस पढ़ते हैं, उनके लिए बहुत बड़ी चैलेंज बन जाती है, और ये मेरे लिए भी था, ऐसा नहीं है, because you know I also had no one in my family who had studied it, like, तो मतलब मैं तो बस जो देख रही थी, थोड़ा न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ती थी, एंड लाइक सीनियर्स को देखा, वो जो सबके साथ होता है जनरली, तो फिर वही लाइक देखा, अच्छा ठीक है, मैंने कभी किसी ने बोला VLCC कर लो, एंड लाइक इफ यू सी माय करियर अपॉर्चुनिटी, लाइक माय सॉरी जॉब थिंग, मैं भी बहुत जंप की हूँ, ठीक है, मुझे शौक है, मतलब मैं ज्यादा दिन एक जगह नहीं पसंद करती हूँ रहना, इट्स माय लाइक आई लाइक टू चेंज थिंग्स बिकॉज़ आई लाइक अ चेंजिंग एनवायरनमेंट, बट इफ यू सी आई हैव आल्सो मूव्ड फ्रॉम वेरी डिफरेंट सेक्टर्स. I worked in a food company. Yeah, and I didn't tell you that I did my internship at Britannia's when I was doing my master's, and I did work with an NGO, and I've also worked in a hotel for 1 month. वहां मैंने करीबन एक दिन में 16 kg प्याज भी काटे हुए हैं, तो मैंने वो काम भी किया हुआ है. So I'm telling you, I had a very diverse experience. So even if you see my career pathways, मैंने teaching भी की स्कूल पे, मैं फिर कॉलेज में भी पढ़ा ली abroad जाके, and now I'm like in a research institution. So I worked with health sector also, both private and public. तो क्या opportunities vast है ना, पहले यदि हमें पता लग जाए कि मुझे किधर जाना है, then the direction is very clear and I know I have to take this pathway. मुझे ऐसा लगता है.
Absolutely. No, so for everyone who's listening, and I think काफी important takeaway है that it's both a, I think a good thing and a bad thing, both a boon and a bane, that you know,
yeah, you know,
because you're likely to find yourself in that confusion ki where should I go, but at the same time, you know, especially to the point that Dr. Neha made around, there is of course passion, and if it is great if you can align it to something you're naturally slightly, you know, good at or slightly good at, right? It just makes it a lot more easier for you. For example, if it is textile versus interior versus
yes. Like really big confusion tha. So abhi, like as far as, yeah, I must make this point, like people should know it. Most of the colleges, what they do is at BSc's first year only, they ask you to choose a specialization. So like you just go, do your 12 and you choose it. But in my time, I was lucky. I was given 2 years, like first 2 years. So I explored different streams, and in my final year was my honors nutrition year. So it was exciting. मुझे सब कुछ करने को मिल गया. So I was also confused. I was very good in interiors. I was very good in textiles, and I was very good in nutrition. I was not good in human development and extension. जितना मेरा अच्छा नहीं था. I didn't score well. वही होता है ना कि marks से भी कभी-कभार judge कर लेते हैं अपने आप को. And I was not so good in theories and all. So actually, one of my teachers told me, you know, my professors, they, Neha, why not come to FRM? I said, but then I thought, you know, वही देखा कि nutrition का scope बहुत है. फिर मुझे खाने का भी शौक था बहुत ज़्यादा. खुद भी खाने का था, बनाने का भी था. So I was a bit crazy, you know, why I took up home science. Anyways, so even I was confused. So if anybody is confused, तो उसको डरने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Nothing to be depressed about. You can reach out to me, and I have many other friends in this field. It's not that you have to only come to me. I have people in different sectors in home science working. So I'm sure we can guide you in that right direction.
And the other
okay, just one more, Pratik, I want to make here. Nowadays, for food and nutrition and textiles, when you take an admission at BSc level, they expect you to have science at your +2. तो ये एक mandate है. I think सब Banasthali offer करती है without science, but most of the institutes, you have to have a BSc, a +2 with that PCMB or chemistry bio combination चाहिए ही चाहिए.
I see.
Yeah. Yes.
Important note then for everyone, if someone's in their 9th and 10th kind of a range and is, you know, looking at an option like this, it just makes your life a lot easier if you're choosing what is called MPC, PCMB. In different geographies, we call it different things, but science essentially. The other thing, Dr. Neha, I want to talk about is naturally a lot of, you know, students, parents, everyone is going to compare this option to the more mainstream paths of, you know, studying commerce or doing an engineering, right? And one of the factors that will start weighing in is कि इसके बाद, you know, job कैसा मिलेगा और पैसे कितने, job मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा, कैसा job मिलेगा, and
हाँ वो तो बहुत है. हाँ चलो
naturally
थोड़े
going
हाँ
to
अभी
decision making. So if you can talk a little bit about that, right? And I saw a couple of questions in the chat as well.
yes. Being very frank, home scientists are paid very badly. तो मैं सीधा ही बोल देती हूँ. तो यदि पैसे कमाने का शौक है तो मतलब अभी वही हो जाएगा, लाइक हाँ मुझे पैसे कमा सकती हूँ, लॉन्ग रन में हो सकता है कुछ बड़ा कर लो तो फिर कमा लोगे, बट शुरुआत में उतने अच्छे पैसे नहीं देते, नहीं है. बिकॉज मेरे को पता है, आई रिमेम्बर आई हैड अ एमएससी एंड वन ऑफ माय कजिन्स हैड अ बीटेक. तो उसकी तो 25,000 की पैकेज लगी थी, मेरे को 15,000 का लगा था. मैं 5 साल पढ़ चुकी थी, मास्टर्स थी, वो बीटेक था. एकदम मैं एकदम डायरेक्टली बता रही हूँ, मेरा अपना एक्सपीरियंस. और ये रहता गया ट्रेंड, मेरा गैप बढ़ते ही गया. मैं 20,000 पे थी, वो लोग 1 लाख पे चले गए थे. But it didn't affect me much because my papa was funding everything for me. पर वो हर घर में नहीं होता है, बहुत घर में लड़कियों को अपना घर भी चलाना पड़ता है. I expect that. But things changed for me. So what happened? What I did, I went abroad. ठीक है. तो वहां से जब मैं यहाँ वापस आई, so what happened? That changed everything. Of course, I had a doctoral degree. So now I'm not saying I'm getting paid as an IM MBA person or a chartered accountant of 10 years of experience, but yes, my friends are still getting paid at 25, 26, unfortunately. And that is the thing, many of them have become entrepreneurs. But lucky for me, I just took a bold decision or whatever, I just wanted to change things. So I think I'm paid very well right now. As for other home scientists, I think I'm in the top brackets. But yes, it's a bit challenge. So the best way is, like, for example, you can do a BSc, like, for example, who wants to join human resource, BSc kar liya family resource management mein. So you learn interior designing, and then you do an MBA. You can join an HR manager. Side by side, apna interior ka bhi kaam karo, entrepreneur bhi ban jao. So then you get a lot of money. So, it's a way how you deal with it. But yeah, of course, abhi payments bhar rahi hai, but not as compared to commerce people and not even as compared to MBAs. But again, I think you have to be very good even in your CA. Like, even because आजकल उतना मैंने सुना है CA का भी 4 or 5 lakhs जो normal है उनका वैसे ही जाता है. But I think still home scientists are underpaid. That's the unfortunate thing. And कोई एक मेरा reason था जिसको लाने का, मतलब इस webinar को, because kids don't study because उनको पता ही नहीं होता है. फिर of course वही है, मतलब payment भी वैसे ही हो जाती है, जिस चीज की ज्यादा demand you get paid well, as simple as that.
No, you're right. And I think a couple of points you made, I think I totally agree with कि ये जो पूरा range है हर field में होता है. It is not like if you're studying commerce or economics, you're going to be paid at a certain level. There is again a full range of opportunities depending on the person's kind of interest, caliber, educational qualifications. And the same thing I'm guessing will apply here. And as Dr. Neha Rathi rightly put it, you have to make your opportunities a little bit. और धीरे-धीरे ये बन रहा है ये space. So
yes,
when you have demand, you'll naturally also start having good paying jobs here.
Yeah, and I think every time you cannot have to think like money wise. Like, see, if you're fortunate enough to come from a good family background and you have the luxury to pursue your passion, उतना जरूरत नहीं है घर पे. मेरे से नहीं, मेरा my family's livelihood is not dependent on me. Why pursue your passion, and things will, I'm sure good things will follow at some point in time. ऐसा होता है, ऐसा.
Absolutely, and I'm glad we are calling a spade right now. We are very frank about the fact that the situation is like this right now. It's likely to evolve over a period of time. So
yes,
that clarity everyone should have while they're entering this. The other thing, your mentor and
yeah, I'm seeing Professor Sukumar has written many things
about is she talks about how this is still not an optional paper, for example, in the UPSC examination.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
I think that having that is also an indication, and it just like gives it a certain amount of pedigree. So any thoughts that you have on this?
Yes, that's the thing, it's just not in India that home science is facing a crisis. It's a worldwide concern. Because I shared pictures from the international newspapers, The Guardian, from US, like doctors, top medical doctors at Harvard are talking about it. Bring this back, guys. We are in trouble. So, and because of this corona, I'm sure, Prateek, like, you've been at home and all our, panel, like whoever has joined today, it has realized it has made us realize the importance of us, living, the family skills, the food skills or koi bhi skills. Men have been doing everything because the women can't do everything on her own. It's impossible because ये hit क्यों हुआ? क्योंकि domestic help आना बंद हो गई. और foreign में तो खैर बहुत दिन से ही we don't have the, domestic help culture as such, there. But still, the women were overburdened because see, maybe 100 years back, women were not there so much into, at the job front. But now female employment has gone up. So you don't expect the women to do everything. So it's a simple cheese. Like I think home science should be a mandatory subject, a compulsory subject in school. All boys to learn it. They should know how to, sew a button, how to cook. Abhi jo jaate hain foreign, fir wohi mummy ko phone karte khana kaise banaye. Otherwise you're eating all the unhealthy stuff. Burgers, pizzas, and फिर वो तुम्हारे health को affect कर रहा है.
Absolutely.
How much of skills you have learned at home? You are. I know you are a one and only child of, especially the boy child. तो मम्मी सब कुछ हाथ ही में दे देती होगी. तुम हंस रहे हो, मुझे समझ आ रहा है क्या सीन होगा. So when you went to Bangalore, you moved alone. You had to do some things at your own, जो तुम्हें नहीं पता होगी पहले से. Maybe.
And I think the situation got all the more aggravated, I think, when I had to move to Paris for 3 months. Or wahan par to Bangalore,
just see,
you can still manage, right? But wahan par you have to completely manage end to end yourself.
Yeah, so that's my point. It's for the entire community at large, and I'm sure COVID has taught us this thing that all these skills, like whatever. It's washing of clothes, drying it in the shade. कुछ भी मतलब even of chopping with vegetables. Sprouts भी हमें क्यों fresh खाना है, उसे cook क्यों नहीं करना है, because the vitamin C will get destroyed. These are very simple and simple things, small things I would say, but still we don't know because we're not exposed to this. And what happens, there are a lot of, especially with food and nutrition, there is a lot of miscommunication through magazines and newspapers. And if you study this subject, even at school level, let's say, even at school level, I think you will get a lot of info. And that helps you in the long run for a good, managing your family well. I remember, I don't know any of you or any of the students today present here would have written a check or, would have done a fixed deposit form at a school level. I was taught in family resource management as my home science class. So when I was in school, I knew how to do everything related to banking. So, these small little skills, and which are very essential life skills or the living skills. And of course, that Professor Sukumar makes a very valid point, to include it in the UPSC and the government is trying to do. So the government of India has recently launched the school garden program. It's not related to home science, but it is giving an opportunity to school children to cultivate their own garden in schools. So they are learning about agriculture, horticulture, they value what they are growing. And similarly, they can, I would say, scale it up to their homes. So, the Indian government is doing, but still, a lot has to be done. We are still, really behind in this sector. But yeah, I'm sure good time is still to come, I always say.
And sessions like these mobilize, even if we have, 20 more kind of aware people today, it just then spreads and multiplies. So I'm glad we're doing this session. And I think the notion you raise around making this compulsory at a school level, I think is the right way to seed the home science kind of culture and discipline very early, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you know about it. I was having a word with my mother, and I'm sure you can ask with your mother, and even Professor Sukumar would agree with me, and other women panelists who are sitting here today. There are some stitches like cross stitch, or the chain stitch, or even crochet. I don't think girls studying in school even know about this now. So these skills have, these stitches, they will get lost one day.
Yeah.
We are going to lose our indigenous food recipes.
Correct.
People now just go and buy dal ka halwa from Bahar se, and I know some people do cook at home, I'm not saying, but I don't think people like, we are just losing our, many things which are indigenous to us. Kitne ghar mein achar banta hai? We just go and buy a mother's recipes or Priya's pickle, don't we? Whatever it is, like, women are working. I'm not blaming anyone, but we also don't have the skill.
Yeah.
It's like that, yeah.
There are a couple of questions that have come up around PCM requirement, right?
Yes.
Is it pretty much the entire spectrum that needs PCM, or are there specific?
No, yes. It's a good question. I think Nandini has asked it, and maybe others also. So what happens? Only for food and nutrition and textiles and clothing, you need to have a physics, chemistry, maths. PCB, I think. Yeah, PCB you need. Physics, chemistry, bio. Maths is not a must.
Got it.
But like if you want to specialize in human development, you want to specialize in family resource management, if you want to specialize in extension education, no, you don't need a science combination. No.
Got it.
Yes.
So got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think with that, we're also at the top of the hour. We'll bring this very exciting session to an end. And thank you so much, Dr. Neha Rathi, for taking out the time, walking us through the key parts of science with such patience. And for the note for the audience, you can always reach out to us अगर आपको Dr. Neha Rathi के coordinates चाहिए होंगे for email address or phone number, and you can always get in touch, get to know more about a certain field. Lack of information should never lead to lack of options. That's what we very, very strongly believe at MVPM, and that's one of our core objectives and core principles. So hopefully this enlightens some of us, and then we can take this forward, enlighten a lot more of the people from the society, and take home science to a new pedestal altogether. Yeah. Any closing remarks from you, Dr. Neha Rathi?
No. Enjoy your rest of your Sunday. All of you enjoy a nice lunch. And of course, go for a walk in the evening. It's a lovely winter weather. We are going to soon lose it because we're going to have the summer heat soon, like going to hit on us. So yeah, have a lovely Sunday evening and an afternoon to all of you. Yeah, that's it from my end.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Again, special thanks to MVPM and the entire committee, the scholar committee, as well as Lahoti uncle who's on the call, for just continuously supporting us with all of it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. Have a good Sunday.
Yeah, bye-bye. See ya.